Millar here. I've got very limited time. It's May 1st, 2018. I'm skipping down to zone 3 because I want you to see some buds before they change. It's so warm right now that the bud is advancing every day. So here we are coming into zone 3. Here's a peach, and those are peach buds, swollen peach buds. And probably by tomorrow we'll be at first pink, just because it's so warm. And spring just came suddenly, boom. So every day it's like the buds advance a full stage. You can see the pear. This tree has quite a few fruit clusters of pear. There we go, into focus. And that would be called tight cluster or almost at tight cluster. It certainly will be at, some of these are at tight cluster. If you peel it open, you can see the fruit in there. Yep, individual fruit buds. These are sea berries. That's a female. These are male, or maybe it's the other way around. But had sea berries for the first time last year, and they were delicious. This is a gosh, I can't even remember the name of the fruit. I'm not even going to try. Blackberry here. Black currant here. This is an apple tree with little sign of life, still waking up. There's some green tips, but that does not necessarily look like a fruit bud to me. It could be, we'll see. This over here, however, is definitely fruit bud. This is a Honeycrisp apple, and this thing's covered in fruit bud. So this is a biennial tree. You can see kind of the size of this branch, and I'd say there's, well, let's see, about 30 fruit bud on this branch alone. So I'd say this tree will have something like 200 buds, individual fruit buds. Now how many apples we get off it remains to be seen. Buffalo berry flowering. This is one of the first flowers of the year, right after hazelnut. Little tiny flowers. I saw some pollinators on that, and yeah, a lot of these flowers are actually past and falling. So hopefully we'll get some buffalo berries. I've actually never eaten one. Here's a plum tree covered in bud. There's thousands of buds. This tree produced, I think, 2 plums last year. So I'd be curious to see if we get better pollination this year. This year's remarkable, again, because we had such a cold spring, a cold April. We had almost no progress, and it's looking to be like a good pollination season. We're going to get heavy rain for the next 3 days and be warm, and then it looks like some nice sunny days with cool winds. So perfect pollination weather, and I think a lot of these will be open by then. More plum fruit bud. Cherries down here. Cherry trees. Not a lot to see here. I don't think there's really any fruit bud on these big trees. These are some of them are 15 feet and not quite as big around as my leg, but close, bigger than my arm. The trunks. Wanted to show you a couple more trees that are very close to flowering. There's an apple. Definitely got some bud on that. There's a almond that died to the ground. We'll see if it actually lives. Here is a Bella Gold Picatum, which is one of those trees that mixes peach. It's a peach plum cherry mix, and there's bud right there. There's bud right there, and you can see the flowers starting to peek out. This is generally the second tree on the property that flowers. That will definitely be flowering by Saturday. It's a Tuesday now. And like I said, we expect rain tonight, tomorrow, Thursday, and I think into Friday. So I'm heading down into zone 4 here because I want to show you the most beautiful tree on the property right now. Is this wild apricot, Manchurian apricot. And it's covered in bud, and the bud is nearly coming out. So those flowers are just beautiful. We've got a few of those. And another one down there. It's covered in bud as well. You can see this. This one isn't quite as far along. A little bit redder. Not quite as much pink in the bud. Very beautiful. All right, well, that's a wrap for today. I'll do some more videos on Saturday.